It's a great day to be a Kyle. Welcome, Kyle Nation, to another episode of Back to Pack Memory. Back to Pack Podcast, where we are going to be bringing you all of your favorite games, memories, and of course, discussion with our fellow Coyotes. As a disclaimer, we have no affiliation to the University of South Dakota. This is a podcast ran by fans for fans. The ideas and comments do not represent the university. Our opinions are our own. Be sure to find us on Twitter at Back to Pack SD. With that being said, let's redo the intro.
Hey, this is the content you don't get with pre-recorded shows. You get the live version.
Hey, I'll save you and just show everybody my cool Aiden shirt.
There you go. Might as well. We gotta keep some traditions alive, apparently, because we have screwed up the intro pretty much every time for the last 5 weeks.
I mean, you did say memories, and we made some good memories this past weekend.
We did make some great memories.
It's very, very fitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but back to pack memories doesn't fit quite.
Let's welcome in Coyote Nation as we fumble through here. We got Yote Fan. Let's go, Yote Fan first, as always. Beating Matt. Matt, where you at? Ray, let's go. Runner up Ray. We appreciate Ray too. Oh, there he is. There's Matt. Perpetually underachieving, coming in third.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, did we get a photo with him this weekend? Because I don't remember taking one.
Actually,
I think, yeah, we got a. He's got a selfie, I think.
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah, we did take one with him.
Okay. If not, what were we doing?
Yeah. Well, we were doing a lot.
All right. Allie's in here. Let's go. Yote Hat Allie. You're really doing it. Yes, we are. Absolutely. Oh. Ray, I was promised a guest. Yeah, about that. We'll see.
We'll see. We're giving him some time, and we'll get there when we get there.
Hey, our boy Dustin's in here. What up, fellas? What up, Dustin? Congratulations, by the way, on your student of the week or month there at Northwest Wichita.
Absolutely.
All right, fellas. Let's do this thing. Let's do this.
Well, you were promised a guest. There he is.
Right on
schedule.
Right on schedule. Zach, welcome.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all inviting me, man. I had to send y'all the receipt, man. I'm a man of my word. Listen, I don't know if y'all can find any South Dakota gear in Mobile, but, man, it's ordered. I'm hoping it gets here before we record. If not, I'll be wearing it next week.
All right. I love it. I love it.
Fantastic.
Let's go. Tyler says goat. Yeah, he's still the goat. Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
You had quite a week, Zach.
Hey, I felt good about my Tarleton pick. They looked real good against North Dakota. All the North Dakota fans were loud when we picked against them. So at least it wasn't too bad. And then I think it was good for me because North Dakota State kind of distracted everybody. That like them losing really helped. And I mean, how about South Dakota being the only Dakota team to survive? Like if I would have told y'all that after the Lamar game, I don't know if y'all would have rode with me on that one.
Right. I'm with you.
We were in a pretty tough spot after that Lamar game.
Oh
man!
Followed up with North Dakota State, and then you were really questioning your sanity, Zach.
All right, let's do this. Joel said, "Where's the red?" So Joel, yep, Zach mentioned it. So he actually did purchase a Yote hoodie. Actually, a really sweet one, by the way. It's the new Yote script, and the boys here on Back to Pack have a T-shirt coming his way too. So
appreciate y'all. Man.
We love Zach McKinnell around here, but guys, 47-0 final score down in Macon, Georgia.
I think there's only a few people that kind of assume that this could be the score, and that might have been the coaching staff at USD. And I'm not sure if they had it this high as well.
I think in our show on Thursday, if you guys recall, I said with a lot of confidence, I'm not sure about anything, but the one thing I'm sure about is that it's not going to be a blowout one way or another. Obviously, completely wrong on that. I couldn't believe what we were watching on Saturday. As we were down there, of course, live, but wow, that was unreal.
Dude, I think that was the best game I think I've seen South Dakota play in 2 years, like over the past 2 years. I mean, they were, this is why I don't want to downplay it, because I know everyone, because there were some people in the Dakota media who never cover USC, by the way. So I just want to throw that out there. And I saw them talking crazy.
Yes.
And I'm like, y'all don't even watch the USD games and you're acting like you called this. But They keep saying Mercer was overrated. Mercer wasn't good. I want to flip it. Like, man, maybe South Dakota is just that good. And I thought this was a statement win. Like, I don't want to downplay it and not like Mercer's trash and not give South Dakota any credit, because I just thought you guys came out locked in and ate. And we recorded last night, and we were talking about it. Aiden Bauman, I think that was where, when we were analyzing the game, we were really wrong, is I just don't think we've given him enough credit for how good he's playing right now at quarterback. And I really think everyone in the media, even people who pick South Dakota, have been kind of sleeping on how well you guys have been playing over the past few weeks. It was just kind of like, and I think maybe it was the first half against Drake kind of sleepwalking in that one. Maybe it just, everyone kind of put a little bit too much stock into that. But I think Bauman, this is the Bauman I expect to see when me and Timothy were ranking him as the number one quarterback coming back, number two, like having him in that conversation. This is what we expected to see from Bauman. And I think his confidence is rubbing off on everybody. Like, they know how locked in he is, and it's rubbing off everyone. And again, we mentioned him last week, Carson Fletcher. Good. Man, he's going to be so good when he gets a shot. I don't know what y'all are going to do at running back. Y'all just going to have to run the wishbone next year with Fletcher, Phillips, and I'm blanking on his name right now, but
Pierre could be back.
Yeah. I mean,
Charles
what are y'all
Pierre
going to do at running back?
We guys, Jake's been saying this for the last couple of years, but we have the best running back room in the nation. It's been the best kept secret here on this show and within Coyote Nation, but we don't let other people know about it. They have to just see it on the field, and now you're seeing it. But with that said, guys, let's jump to this, because we got to get this out of the way here. I know this is what everybody that's tuning in here came for this part, guys. We start off with on the left. We had a preferred walk-on, guys. This account did a really nice sit-down interview with Coach Johansson last week leading up to the game. It was posted later in the week, but he found our flag at the game and tweeted us out and said, we're going to be all smiles here at halftime, which we absolutely were. But guys, look at the middle. You saw our scores, and we remind everybody, of course, Zach picked Mercer, but none of us expected this. We had 3-4, 7-point win. And so I'll start with that. But also, Zach, looking at your picks last week, man, not only did you get the Mercer wrong, but man, it was a tough week for you in general.
Man, it was four, I think it was 4-4 in the playoff games, and then the Jackson game, man, just choked. And I knew I should have picked PV. Like, that was one of the ones I was talking to. I was talking to Timothy about it. I was like, I should have definitely known. But I also, too, I just like some of those games were so close. Like, I look back at that Abilene Christian and Lehigh game, and those games were so good this past weekend. And also, too, I don't even feel bad about getting the North Dakota State one wrong. I don't even think Illinois State fans.
Nobody does.
Yeah. Listen, I don't even count that. So we went 4-4 overall. With that one, I just couldn't believe that one. But all of them, I thought this past weekend, outside of y'all's game, which is hilarious to say that now, because we were all expecting this one to be the signature game of the weekend.
Right.
All of the games this weekend were great. And I don't need a new dartboard. Listen, we're still shooting. I think it's 76% this year on picks. We're good. We're good over here.
Yeah.
I keep track.
No, you guys have been cashing in all year long. We follow your show every week,
so we know. Rough with some of these upsets. Good Lord, these upsets
it has been chaos. And we've been cheering for it, is that because thinking about our path and getting some new blood in there in the championship game, like we've been cheering for that chaos. And Tyler says it best: we are all clowns. Yes, absolutely. we are in on this, Zach, because the Coyotes said, and I took that personally. They saw our score predictions, and So if that being said, man, we got a special treat for you here.
I love it.
Well. And, before we jump into this, I do want to call it out, because the one and only Moonfish, he came out and said 42-17. And
crazy.
Zach, if I remember correctly, you said if that score happens, I have to rethink everything.
I do.
Well, you blank Mercer and you do 47-0. I think we're all doing a little more than rethinking.
Oh man, it went from if y'all won last week by 3 points. I'll be honest, like I don't know who I'm picking this week. I don't think anyone's calling the Montana South Dakota game a coin flip. After the way you guys looked last week and how good they looked, right? I mean, because putting up 50 points on SDSU was really impressive.
Absolutely.
To call that game a coin flip, and me and Timothy said it on the podcast yesterday, if you guys beat Montana, like we're not talking about just getting to Nashville. We're talking about South Dakota maybe being one of the two favorites with probably Montana State. I don't know if Stephen F. Austin is going to get them or not, but you're probably looking at South Dakota as one of the favorites to win it all, which is coming from where it was in the middle of the season would be insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I just think, Zach, I messaged you this earlier, but I think that the Yotes are clicking in all three phases at this point. Everything is synced up. You mentioned Aiden's confidence, but like the O-line in front of him, the running game, the defense, the special teams, like we have it all cooking right now, and you couldn't ask for a better time, right? We slowly got hot there at the end of the year and have just gotten hotter as the playoffs go.
I'm just excited for this, guys, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit. And we really are not going out unless Villanova wins it, which I think they have one of the lowest odds right now to win it. I mean, we're going to get someone to win their first championship since like 2000.
That's insane.
Wild.
Come on, man. Like, how good is that for the subdivision where everyone all preseason, like when we talk in the preseason about guys who are the dark horses for the national championships, people in Fargo didn't even turn on the episode because they're like, nobody. Why would anyone be a dark horse in the FCS? No one else can win outside of SDSU or NDSU. And then let's just be like, I look at the field. I know everyone's saying Montana State's the favorite, right? And they should be because they've been playing well. Montana maybe. But what either one of those teams could be knocked off this weekend or next weekend, we really could have a first-time FCS national champion. I mean, Sam Houston was the last team to do that, and before that, I mean, you had South Dakota State. I don't really count them though because they were right there for so long. But I mean, none of these teams in the preseason ever were expecting to be at this position.
Now, I will say, obviously, USD was there in a sense, but then, I mean, definitely the wheels fell off right away to start in the beginning of the season, and that went away pretty quickly. I know that was thrown around a lot as USD, but this is exactly what pretty much any FCS fan outside of Brookings or Fargo was rooting for. It's just pure chaos, and just to continue to prove the point that I think FCS has the playoffs pretty much nailed down compared to what FBS is trying to do.
Yeah, they might not always get the seeding right, but the 24-team format is chef's kiss.
Agreed.
It is. The only gripe I have about this past round, and I know I've talked about it before, and a lot of Yote fans didn't want to hear me say it, but I was really hoping that South Dakota State was going to pull it off, so we had another game at the Dakota Dome, right? I think that's really the only thing. So we joked about on the way back from the game. We said the one time we cheer for the Jacks, they can't get it done, and they got 50 burgers. Like that was shocking, to say the least, too. So
it's probably partly our fault for cheering for them.
Y'all definitely jinx that one.
Yeah, jinx the old reverse jinx, right? No doubt. So, but yeah, we, it was kind of shocking. I think one thing too, and the part that was so shocking to me was how quickly USD jumped on top, and I kept waiting for Mercer to respond, even when it was 21-0. Like we know what this USD defense has been about this year, and that's usually you get to about 28, and that's a pretty good spot for this USD defense the way they've played. But you just kept waiting for Mercer to respond, right? They got up 21-0, and you go, they're gonna respond. There's no way that they're just gonna roll over here. There's no way this is gonna continue. They have to respond, and that part was the most shocking to me, is that they really never responded. And then, quite frankly, after that first touchdown in the third quarter, they just threw in the towel. They wanted to be done so badly, and it was like they did not try to hide it. They wanted to go home once that happened. It was I haven't seen anything like that in quite a while.
No, if it wasn't for the Youngstown game last weekend, I think everyone would have been like, "Oh yeah, that game's over after the second touchdown." Because I told Timothy, it was 14-0, and I texted him. I was like, "Bro, Mercer doesn't want to be here. Like they don't even look like South Dakota came out and punched them in the mouth so hard that Mercer was out after the first two drives. They wanted no more. And you could tell on the field, right? Like, I'm never going to accuse players of giving up. It's because I understand they still wanted to win, but they didn't know how to respond. Like, I really think they went to the sideline as the coaches are making changes, they're looking at the coaches like, "Coach, I don't think you understand. Like, we don't have anything for these guys. Whatever y'all call they're just better than us on every aspect. And I thought this was the best game y'all's offensive lines played all year. And then even defensive line, I don't think y'all recorded. Did y'all record a sack in this game? I don't think so. But
Nope.
the pressure rate was like 40%, I want to say,
Yes.
on Atkinson. He was in hell this past weekend. He didn't know what was going on. And then even when he had time to throw, he would hit his wide receivers in the face mask and they would just drop it. I mean, the DBs had Mercer's wide receivers just shook, and it's a testament to how good the DBs played. And we released our freshman on the American team today, and this RJ Stewart is going to be a problem if you guys can keep him around in South Dakota. I think his potential is so good. Munn has obviously is really, really good. Y'all's DBs, man, have been playing outstanding. And I think that the corner spot in particular was a spot that coming into the preseason, I wasn't 100% sure about looking at it just from an outsider's perspective, but it's ended up being probably one of the strongest points of this defense this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they definitely took their lumps and bruises in the beginning of the season, but trial by fire is really what it was for them. They figured it out. And you're right. And it was actually perfect timing because Mitch put together a back-to-back tweet appreciating RJ. And then your guys' All-American freshman list came out. And it was like, bam, bam. So, no, that's fantastic. And, I mean, I want to reiterate to the fans, this just goes to show how much Zach watches for football and is able to keep track of it. We can give him a hard time about a score prediction. I think it was a fair score prediction because we truly thought what Mercer could be. But based off of every prediction we saw in the chat, us three here as well, I mean, there was not 47-0 expected. So we'll just say that.
No, I don't think anyone thought that. Listen, and there were people who picked South Dakota that were like, well, what is going on here? Like, I think even Sam picked South Dakota, and we were talking, and he was like, man, I didn't have any idea. Because, like, the people who were hindsight biased and was like, why would anyone ever think Mercer had a chance? It was like Mercer was about to drive down and beat UC Davis before that game was called off. And UC Davis is in the quarters and is the favorite this weekend to get to the semifinals. And that was without Atkinson at quarterback. So it's not like this team had no evidence, right? But then that same team turned around and lost to Presbyterian. I think we saw that team show off this weekend because this and I saw someone ask in the chat, like, how did Mercer play compared to previous weeks? I think this game was by far the worst game I've seen since Mike Jacobs has become the head coach there, which was 2 years ago. I was shocked at the lack of just the energy that they brought at home. And I know the home crowd wasn't great. I saw some comments about that. But still, man, I don't care if you play in front of no people. You cannot get beat like that at the line of scrimmage that early because South Dakota did whatever they wanted. And if y'all wanted to score 60, y'all could have really and truly. And I think Mercer got lucky that you guys were like, listen, we got Montana the next round, most likely. Let's go ahead and rest some of these guys for next week.
Absolutely. All right. Well, do you guys? So I felt bad that we kept you for an hour last time, Zach.
Y'all are good, man. Y'all are good.
With how the playoffs have been going, you're definitely covering quite a bit here. So I'll leave it up to Mitch and Grant. See if you guys have any questions. If anybody has any questions in the chat, real quick for Zach. Outside that, we'll give you your night back too.
No, I just really. Go ahead, Mitch.
I was just going to say I appreciate Zach spinning it more towards the Coyotes and not how bad the SoCon or Mercer was, because that is kind of the narrative that's out there. And I think that Mercer team is a solid team, right? I know there's a gap between us and them, but I appreciate you mentioning that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's a common thing in sports media is whenever a team gets beat like this, it's always they're trash rather than the team that won is so good. And I think you saw that with like the New Hampshire South Dakota State game last week where New Hampshire's garbage, and they kind of were. I'll be honest with you. I don't think this was the same type of situation, but I just think blowouts happen sometimes. Like, did y'all play Illinois State last year in the Valley before we got to the playoffs?
No, we did not have Illinois State on the schedule last year.
No,
but like they were a decent team, right? With Rittenhouse last year and everything. They go to the playoffs and they get beat 42-10 by UC Davis. No one was saying the Valley and Illinois State was overrated and shouldn't have been in the playoffs. So I just think that was in the FCS, man, we got some overreactors for sure who are like, man, Mercer should have never been in the playoffs and seeded. It's like they were playing really good. Like South Dakota is just playing a lot better.
Yeah, Exactly. All right. So we got one question in the chat for you, Zach, and then we'll give you your night back. Are we gonna get an early prediction
on a Monday? On a Monday, we're gonna
On
put
a
him on
Monday,
the
yes.
spot.
He's not going to give that till his preview show.
Yeah.
I was
Man,
just gonna say.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
If I had a prediction, I would give it to y'all because I have predictions for y'all. Like I'm picking Montana State. I even picking UC Davis over Illinois State, and I think Tarleton might blow out Villanova. I think that's a bad matchup. I don't know who I'm picking right now in this game. It's a 50-50 game. Like we're recording tomorrow with Craig, and I always got to send him my picks early. I told him I was like, bro, I'll just tell you tomorrow when we record. I don't know. It's a 50-50 game right now, and so y'all will probably find out tomorrow afternoon. I think that's I think me, Craig, and Sam all record tomorrow. So y'all will hear it on that one. But right now it's 50-50 because I don't know. I tell y'all, if y'all won by 3, I would have probably picked Montana. But with how y'all beat Mercer, I'm not sure right now.
Fair enough. Hey,
I like it.
I'll
I like
say
it. A
this.
little tease out there for us. So
Yeah.
that's for these folks too. You got to tune in if you want to find out.
I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, and I appreciate y'all being good sports, man. And appreciate y'all letting me come on here to eat my crow. And y'all will see me in the Yotes hoodie whenever it comes in. Hopefully it gets here this week.
Oh, we'll give you your flowers when we see that come by. But
Absolutely.
no, seriously, thank you for joining us, Zach. Way to be the man of your word, coming back on after the 42-17 jokes on the predictions. But man, nobody saw that coming. So thanks for your time again, Zach.
Absolutely, guys, man.
Yep.
Y'all do a great job as always. And man, I'll make sure to jump on here maybe later this season, man, or in the off season, man. Again, appreciate y'all.
Heck
Thank
yeah.
you.
Have a great night,
Absolutely.
Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Man, you know what? Shout out to Zach for that though too, and we'll get more into the breakdown of the game as well. But I mean, he's a man of his word. He said he would be back on here with us after the game to talk it out, and you know, we definitely put a lot of questions in his head in a good way. And so, hey, that's fantastic. And yes, he is right. He sent me the shipping label and everything. He's got a hoodie on the way, and he got the Yote script, so he got the right logo too.
Yep, love it, love some Zach McKinnell. Absolutely the go to the FCS. So, hey guys, I want to go to the chat real quick because this is a sweet comment from Kate.
Oh, shit. Don't get me started on that. You guys know about our group message. I keep telling you, every day that goes by, these mustaches get more and more powerful.
They do.
They get more bushy and they get more powerful. It's not a coincidence.
It is not a coincidence whatsoever. So bad news for Montana.
Hey, hashtag mustache rise to the ship.
There you go.
All right, guys. Speaking of mustaches, quarterback 1 supports a mustache, and quarterback 1 is officially crushing the competition on Alex's lemonade stand.
Yeah,
we had a big donation come in, guys, a couple days ago, and we are officially at, if I can blow this up here a little bit so I can see it, 38,683.
Yep, exactly. And so with it, I will say this: at the beginning of the season, when I said that we were going to win this, did I expect 38,000? Absolutely not. I was thinking, you know what? If we hit 25, we'll be right there. I think we'll be right there. Got a great chance to win this bad boy. We'll button her up and whatnot. Yeah. But 38.6 is absolutely insane. And so I've put out an absolute massive challenge for Coyote Nation. We have just under a month away. I believe it's January 5th. Don't quote me on that. But it's the day before the national championship is when it actually ends. We are $11,000 away and some change from $50,000. We are $11,000 away from doubling my prediction to win it. And now I want that 5-0 on the board. I want to see that up there. So I am going to figure out pieces, see if there's some sort of additional, whether it's bidding wars or silent auctions or just fun donations again. I want to see 5-0 on the board. I know
it'd be pretty sweet. Talk about raising the bar. Holy moly. Last year's winner was 23,000. So we've already raised the bar, but 50. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I will say this, I'm going to say it now, and I'll eat my crow next season when we blow it out of the water then too. But I do feel like 50,000 is a mark that will never be seen again. And so I want to make sure that is the Coyotes name right next to it when we hit it.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet number to have the pretty much the all-time raised if it happens. So
Absolutely. All right, guys, a couple shout outs here real quick. Just Mercer fans, Southern Hospitality guys. We saw it all week in the Facebook group with how much information they were sharing and posting in there and helping Yote fans out. And Andrew Johnson, by the way, still our profile pick here. He's been using this. He's been using this for a while.
Oh yeah,
no, he's just a true fan, is what it is.
Absolutely, Yote fan, where you at? You got to get on Andrew's level here. But he said, "Let's go, Yotes." Read and heard nothing but good about the hospitality by Mercer and fans. And guys, we can attest to that.
Yep.
Because we were down there, and so absolutely agree with that.
We'll start it off right away from the start. And actually, this picture number 1 is a perfect picture. So this is in the top left of this picture is actually the end zone that we scored our first touchdown in. Now, we had some issues figuring out Lyft or Uber. They did not want to pick me up on my $9 fee for some reason on a 15-minute drive. They deleted that one. But anyways, we got there a little late, and I have my own superstitions. So I stopped at the concessions, and the crew walked in front of me, and I got a Coke and a hot dog. And as I'm coming around this corner, basically where this neon suit guy is, I see LJ bust his big opening run on the opening drive. And I am so glad the cameras were not picking up what was happening behind the end zone, because I looked like a total tool running with my Coke and hot dog in the air, losing my mind, because I'm like, if he's scoring right here in front of me. Obviously, he did not end up scoring. He did get caught from behind, but we stayed right at that field goal post and watched Reed Watkins score his first career Coyote touchdown. And all three of us lost our mind. And I don't know if you two heard it, but the Mercer fan standing next to me went, "Oh, y'all crazy."
Yeah, they had no idea.
Yeah, that was the correct assessment on their part too. But yes, we went bananas because we were right behind the field goal post as soon as they were coming in. And what a bang of a way to come into the stadium and start. That was just the beginning, as we know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, and the brick, guys, a lot of brick everywhere. That's beautiful. One of the reasons a very nice stadium. They had the aluminum bleachers, which wasn't so nice, but the rest of the stadium and the brick accents was phenomenal. Absolute classic look.
Yeah. Nice photo editing.
All right, next one, guys. Count Nation and the USD chant. Yote Hat Alley here with her false start count. So took that on the road, guys. We caused 2 false starts with the roughly, 500 to 1,000 Coyote fans that were there. I think Mercer had maybe 1,500. We maybe had 1,000. I don't know. But two false starts caused by Coyote Nation that was there. And then the USD chant at the end, I saw we got props for that too on social media. So wanted to make sure that we mentioned that.
Yep. All right. So I need to touch on this real quick. Sorry, I totally took you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Pat wants to know how the hot dog compared to a dome dog. And I will say, I don't care if you get me a hot dog from Yankee Stadium. There will never be a hot dog that can compare to the dome dog 1-to-1. But I would give it, a 5.7 out of 10. Like, it was just good enough to tide me over. But I think what probably made it worse is that it was raining, and I also started unwrapping it as I walked. And also my Coke didn't have a lid.
My bun could have used a little rain because that bun was as stale as their offense.
Oh, God. People didn't know they were getting hot dog analysis tonight, but this is the real stuff.
No. Don't recommend a Mercer dog, by the way. Doesn't even compare to a dome dog. Can't hold a candle.
See, you just didn't buy them soon enough. That was the problem.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Shout out John Thayer and Milestones, guys. John Thayer put out a fantastic tweet and followed it up with another fantastic tweet of all the achievements that happened in this game. A lot of career milestones and such. I'm not going to read through all of them here, but you can see them on the screen. There was a ton of stuff. Any one of those guys that sticks out to you?
Well, we could knock out 2 and 1. One pass hit 2 records, which was absolutely nuts. Fenner's 66-yard touchdown, which, of course, Fenner breaks the record in the most Fenner way possible, but it's also delivered on an absolute dot from Aiden in the pouring rain. And that set Aiden up for the all-time careers yardage, and then also set up Fenner for the single season receiving touchdowns at 17.
Yep. And then first career touchdowns, Reed, Watkins, Tyson Bowes, and Tennell Bryant all getting their first career touchdowns as Yotes. I mean, just a ton of stuff. And then one last thing, guys, on the right, Travis Johansson, guys, the first Coyote coach to win 10 games in their first season as a head coach. That's pretty remarkable.
Unbelievable season. Now, I know everybody kind of had some expectations coming into the season, but 10 wins when one of them is against FBS always, for the most part, feels like you're going to be set back to an opportunity to only win 11 games. But to be able to get to 10 in your opening season, regardless, and all the turnover that he had to deal with in the offseason, it's been a fantastic season that the whole team has gone through.
Grant, any one of these you want to highlight?
No, I think you nailed it. I think maybe we want to cheer for Rain on Saturday because it seems like Aiden played his best game of his maybe of his career. You're right. I mean, the efficiency was off the chart. His passes were dead on. So who knows? Maybe he likes the rain. Let's get it raining on Saturday. Who knows?
I tell you what, the rain just and the way the game went obviously helps, but it definitely added to the fun of the game.
Absolutely,
I mean, it made it a blast until I flipped up my hood on my poncho and water poured down my back. That was probably the only no bueno spot.
All right, guys. We tweeted out a bunch of these and dapped up the guys after the game on Twitter. But the biggest one here, I think Aiden unlocked Yote Goat status by becoming the number one all-time passing yards leader at USD with 9,047, and we know that number is not done yet. And then obviously Zoe over here with the single season touchdown receptions record at USD.
I'll say it. He just has to average 317 yards passing and get us a ship. And Aiden will be the only 10,000 yard passer in USD history.
There you go. I was just about to say this is probably a show we can do in the offseason at some time is, Coyote Mount Rushmore. I think
that would be a debate.
That would be a debate, but I think I have a feeling we'd all find Aiden Bauman on that.
He's definitely worked his way up there.
Yep, absolutely. And then, guys, as I disappear on the screen here, cutting out, LJ2K. LJ has achieved 2,000 career rushing yards at USD. And, guys, I want to mention this because he is 154 yards shy of 2,000 for this season.
Yes, which is, we know that is very attainable for LJ in a game. So that could literally happen Saturday. I said in the group chat this morning, I said, if he breaks 2,000 on Saturday, good chance that we won the game too, because very rarely do we rush that well and lose the game. So excited to see if that's within reach on Saturday. I think it is.
Absolutely. That's for sure the next challenge. And we know if he rushes for 100 to 150, we win the game. So can we get there? Can we get to 154?
Absolutely. Yeah. It'll be fun to watch.
And then RJ Stewart, I'm going to go ahead, Jake. RJ Stewart, FCS Football Central. This is Zach's. We mentioned his, his company with SI there, his partnership and what he does for the website. But guys, he put out his freshman All-American list or All-American team here, and RJ makes the list as a corner. I was going to mention to him, by the way, those are both, he mentioned Munn and Stewart, but both those are redshirt freshmen corners making plays. So
Munn's a true sophomore.
Oh, that's right. He didn't redshirt. That's right. But yeah, two young guys making all kinds of plays on that back end, and we could name some others too. I thought maybe there was some linemen that were left off that list for the Yotes, but nonetheless, RJ gets the nod here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting had Jacob been able to sneak in earlier in the season.
Yep.
At right tackle, I think that definitely would have made it a tough conversation to have.
Absolutely. All right. One last one here. This is probably the biggest one, guys. We need to give a thank you to President Gestring and Coyote Athletics, and also say that our president is greater than any other president out there in the university land throughout the nation, because what president would be out in the pouring rain cheering on the Yotes, over 1,000 miles away?
Not only in the rain cheering on the Yotes, but being front row with the absolute three craziest Coyotes she's probably ever met. The only time she actually wasn't by us is when Mitch pulled out his belt and was whipping it around his head.
Yeah, she sidestepped maybe 10 feet away. She didn't want to get hit by that thing.
She was looking for an excuse all game, and she finally had one. She's like, now I can finally get away from these guys for a little bit. No, no, she was great. We all said the same thing. Like you said, she's such a fantastic representation for the university in athletics. And like you said, there's not many presidents I know that sit out in the rain in a poncho when it's 45 degrees out to watch their team. But by God, she was there right with us. So big shout out to Sheila.
At some points, we were questioning if we had some troubles catching up or not.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, for Coyote Nation, if you don't know or haven't talked to President Guest before about football, she knows a lot, and she knows the roster and the staff and a lot about our opponents. She knows way more. I mean, I knew from the show, her comments, I knew she knew about football, but she knows even more than what I imagined, guys.
Yes, she knows ball for sure.
Yes, she knows ball.
Rumor has it she gets a lot of that information from this very show, so we'll have to see, I guess. No, and then shout out to the Todd father, as you two have been calling him. Todd Bauman is honestly, he's a blast. He's an absolute hoot to hang around, and he was right up there with us and the Kogels. I mean, I don't know. We always ask for like great representation from the players that don the USD logo, but for the parents to follow suit and be there right there with the players, with the school, to see all of them. And I wish I forgot that Matt sent me a picture with him as well. But I wish.
Okay, you do have one. I was going to ask that because
I just forgot about it. Yeah,
because if we didn't get one with Matt, we were doing it wrong.
Yep. No, we got one with the Kogels in there as well. But I mean, the representation that we have from the parents too of these athletes is, bar none. It's a fantastic group of parents, and I just have a blast getting to know each and every one of them. I even had Crim's parents right next to me at the game too.
There was a ton of parents there, guys. That was a big chunk of our crowd was parents. I love seeing that support, and couldn't ask for much more on the day. So with that being said, let's jump into the X's and O's here, guys. What stood out, where do we need to improve, which is not going to be much, and players of the game. So
I'll just start us with the what needs to be improved. And literally, I struggled because I prep for these kind of questions here. There's one that comes to mind, and I'd say it's long snapping for special teams between field goals and punting. Yep. We did have some difficulty.
Just a little high. And by the way, Grant's a former center and long snapper, so he knows, he knows ball.
I don't get feisty about it during the game at all, do I, guys?
Not even a little bit.
No.
Not even a little bit. But I will say outside of that, they were high and a little outside on those, probably attributed to the rain, the wetness. Definitely does not help.
Yep. Not an ideal day for long snapping. Not ideal at all.
Outside of that, even our quarterback was a better punter than Mercer's. I don't know. I can't think of anything else that really sticks out. And I know coach is like, oh, there's some things, but as a casual fan watching, I couldn't find an issue.
No, I think, Mitch, you nailed it when Zach was on earlier, and you said every single phase of the game worked on Saturday. I even think, obviously the offense, here's the question we asked, right? What is more shocking from this game? The 47 points scored against what we thought was a top 10 defense, or the 0 points scored by the Jerry Rice Award winner?
Who was averaging 40 to 60 points a game
in the offense and averaging 48 point whatever points a game, right? Both sides are so unbelievable for a playoff game against what is the number 6 team in the country. Just the more I think about it as the weekend progressed, I just couldn't wrap my head around what had just happened. This is what you do to a bottom feeder team in FCS, right? The last time we beat somebody this bad was Indiana State and Murray State last year and the year prior. And those are teams who are literally some of the worst FCS teams in the country at the time when we played them, right? So
you just don't see this in the playoffs very often.
Don't, yeah, and let alone we're not even talking about the first round. This is a second round playoff game for a team who got a bye. And I really appreciate what Zach said too, is that this is not Mercer came out and stunk it up. Like, the Yotes are for real. Like, I know we're preaching to the choir in the show about this, but this team, and I tweeted it a month ago, nobody wants to play this team in the playoffs right now.
No.
Like, there's nobody left that looks at USD and goes, "Oh, nice. That's who we wanted to play." This team is, we're biased, right? But this is the most dangerous team in the playoffs right now. That, especially being unseeded, it's crazy.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
I'm glad Matt brought this up because
Yeah.
I actually
Sorry.
oh,
Go
no,
ahead,
you're
Jake.
good.
Go ahead.
I remember hearing about this on Twitter, and I was like prepping for our show, but then of course I had a 6-year-old's birthday party with the family, and everything kind of went out the window on what I was remembering from Twitter. But I'm glad he brought this up. The last time Mercer was shut out at home was 1942, and it was to the University of Georgia. 41.
Yep, 41. You
That
guys,
is
and
insane.
I think part of this, guys, obviously Mercer is and the SoCon is what they are, but I think part of this, if I'm a Mercer fan or on the team, I'm thinking that the bye and the fact that they played Auburn to end the season and lost 62-17, I think that killed any bit of mojo and momentum and confidence that they had. And then they had to sit there an extra week and think about all that. And I just think all of that, plus us coming out red hot, just resulted in disaster for them.
Yeah,
here's the
absolutely.
other thing that's scary about it too, is that we talked about it briefly, but Mercer did score, I believe it was 17 points against Auburn, or maybe it was 4. I know 14.
Yeah, you had reminded me when we were at the game on Saturday that it was 14-14 with them in Auburn.
I was going to say, at the end of the first quarter, that game was 14-14. So it was not like Mercer scored their 14 at Auburn in garbage time with the backups in. Like, they had Auburn in at least a relative fight, at least for one quarter.
Yep.
We just didn't see any of that on Saturday. I mean,
and credit to our defense. Maybe we just flat out didn't allow it.
Agreed. I think it is. I think it's more credit to USD. I think we put what Jake had talked about. We put in so many disguises and had yet again another young quarterback completely rattled. And it seemed like, again, after that second pick, the train was off the tracks for him. He was so rattled, flustered, I think somebody made the comment, he was throwing up the ball like it was 500 at times when looking like
I saw that comment in here. Yep.
It was seriously, I just couldn't believe what I was watching after a while. And so
absolutely.
That was Eric, by the way. There it is.
Eric, when he said it, he's exactly right. That's exactly what he was doing. So
some of those were just literally just throw it up and hope a Mercer guy comes down with it. And more often than not, we were coming down with it.
Mm-hmm.
His last pick, Mikey's second pick, was actually pretty comical to watch because the ball came to Mikey, and if you kind of watch it slowed down, Mikey actually looks around like, where's the guy?
Make sure he's not going to get hit before he catches it.
It was almost like a punt because it was just floated. But yeah, and then the other thing I really was trying to, because I thought it was really funny, I wanted to go back to this comment that it was 1941, and the only thing I could think of is the old lady from Titanic. It's been 84 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Spot on.
Yeah. But you can't put gifts in the comment section, so I'm sorry to everyone else. So I was zoned out for Grant's rants.
I know, and listening to their coach's post-game press conference a little bit, guys, he wanted to kind of dismiss the weather. But honestly, in Georgia, this time of year, with it being 47 degrees and rain, that is miserable for them. Like, that is their winter. And so, we even talking to the guy in the airport, one of the airport workers is like, yeah, it's supposed to be 65 and sunny down here right now. Like, this sucks. Like, they were in hell between what we were doing to them and the weather. Like, they were in literal hell.
Yep.
All right, flip to the stats here. So take a look at some of the domination and in terms of the numbers for the nerds out there.
And while you do that, this comment wasn't hit by Tyler's, and I want to bring it up because this is a perfect comment. Any ex-DSU that does this 47-0 to a 60, they're deemed unstoppable, title favorites. And now I will say this, at least with Zach.
And what's the narrative coming out of this is, the SoCon sucks. Not USD is good.
Sucks.
Yeah, Mercer sucks. The SoCon sucks.
You shouldn't have given Mercer. They shouldn't have been seeded. Maybe they shouldn't even been in the playoffs. I will say the positive is we just had a national writer in here. And he left saying that it was USD that kicked the crap out of him, not that Mercer sucks. I mean, it definitely brought up some red flags of what the SoCon can do, and it's definitely going to leave some question marks for the committee next season. But at least we changed the mind of one. Now, local media, they don't care. Mercer sucks. SoCon sucks. South Dakota probably got lucky. They got lucky because it was raining.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and Eric agrees with us here. He said he tweeted that Mercer was cold, wet, and ready for a hot shower. Yeah, absolutely. Especially after we scored that first one in the second half, they were done. They were packing it up.
Yeah. Well, and the funny part was too, it was like 3rd and 8, and Aiden drops an absolute dime to Fenner down the sideline.
Yep.
Like that. Not only did we score, but it was just in a soul-crushing opposite side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And
that was a long throw. That was a long throw.
Yeah, Aiden threw from the opposite hash across the field diagonal.
Yep.
And nailed Fenner just perfectly. Even Fenner had
in
to
stride
speed up a little bit. Yeah, it didn't change his run pattern much at all. That was the play that broke him. So
it really was.
Yeah.
I mean, that like I said earlier, you don't see a college, like Division I college football team just pack it in that early, because there was still 8 minutes left in the third quarter. But that was really the turning point where it's like you knew the game was done just based off of how our defense has played all year, right? Like there's the comeback was completely out of the question, but then just to see them really just completely give up, because the very next drive when we got it, they just basically bailed out. Like they didn't even want to hit. They, we just did whatever we wanted to, in the following drive. So yeah, incredible game. Would have still am shocked by it. The only thing more shocking is maybe Illinois State, North Dakota State, but unbelievable performance by the team. And like I said, no better time than now to be red, white, smoking hot.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll say too, I even I was chatting with you guys and Chris, and I said, had I told you that LJ was being pulled from the game 8 minutes left in the third quarter, what's your thoughts? Like that is not
no, would have never guessed.
Exactly.
No.
And I will say this though, CJ Miller, this is a great comment by Matt here. CJ Miller is a load.
Big dude, and he did get to 100. He did get to 100 yards, but it took him the entire game to get there, even in garbage time there.
Yeah, and then we're talking
the lone right-ish spot, I guess, for Mercer, right? I think he was a very patient runner, big runner, falls forward. He's a good player, but that was about the only source of light from them on Saturday, unfortunately for them.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, a couple just picture slides for us, just because I want to mention this, because I think it's worth noting that you can tell this team is having fun. Whereas in the first couple games of the season, you could tell they were not playing like themselves, maybe playing too tight, afraid to make mistakes, not communicating well, just all out of sync. And now you see guys flying around, making plays, celebrating after the plays, dapping each other up, and just it's infectious, right? You see one guy get a play, and the next play, another guy makes a play, and it snowballs. And so I want to call that out with these pictures, because I think that's what you're seeing here, both during the game and then obviously post-game celebrations too. And I think that between the team being red hot and just the confidence and everything, guys, and Coyote Nation rising up behind these guys, I don't know. To Grant's point, I wouldn't want to play the Yotes right now in the playoffs.
And the one thing I will say, the one thing that will get this team fired up more than anything, you just pull out this bad boy right here. That's all it takes to get them to going nuts. For the people that have followed along, they've seen the celebrations out there, but BTA has been something that this team has talked about quite often. I'll leave it up to your discretion to Google it, because we keep this show PG. But it's belt to something, and it's a spot you don't want the belt to hit you. But on that last touchdown, we pulled out our belts, and it was on Tennell's long run. And at first, the team just kind of looked at us like, yeah, these guys are crazy. They're celebrating. Let's go. And then they saw Mitch and I holding our belts above our head, and they realized what they were. And the sideline just absolutely erupted on their part. It was, it was just a blast through and through. These guys are in it, fully committed, and they are just having a blast. And, you know what, it was cool being a part of it and enjoying the moment with them.
Absolutely. I want to hit this comment from Joel too. Play calling on offense. He's saying it's so much better than it was 6 to 7 games ago. I do agree, Joel. I think that's part of it. I think part of it's just we know our identity and we know the pieces and they're all in sync. And so I don't know that we've changed much other than I think we're just executing better too. And you guys know I was a critic of play calling early in the season, but I have been crickets these last 5-6 games.
Well, yeah, we made the comment that this team, it's cliche, but it is insane how much better this team is today than they were at the beginning of the season, to the point where we all said, I think this team today beats our early team season by about 21 or 28 points. That's how much better they've gotten as the season's progressed. And
absolutely,
that is, again, what makes this team so damn scary. If you're another playoff team, it's been a huge improvement.
I do want to ask Mitch, did Jacob's picture from the fight song make it in to the slides?
I don't think so. I don't think it did. Okay. But yes, our flag was featured in the post-game celebration when they sing the school song, which I appreciate him coming over and grabbing that thing right as they were starting to sing, and he hustled his butt over there to get into the video.
Well, and that's not the only thing that made the video. If you watch Adrian Hawkins closely, that is also my belt in his hands. So these guys, they're having fun and they're loving all the love. I think is the easiest way to say it too from Coyote Nation. Keep showing it to them. It's tough. I get it. A trip out to Missoula, Montana, which is basically Idaho. Like, it's tough for pretty much any fan to make that trip. And to the ones that make it, props to you guys. It's there. It's going to be a heck of a trip. But keep showing them love online. They see it. They love it. Keep it up.
Absolutely. And for the ones that do make it, they're gonna give them hell. I know that.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
But moving on here, guys, players of the game, sponsored by Amazing Adventures by Allie. It's time to book that vacation. Look her up, Facebook, guys. That is the place to find her. She does have a Facebook page, so you can just message her through that. And we do appreciate her support here to keep the lights on for us through the playoffs. And I told her the more we win, the more episodes she gets, more exposure she gets. So this has been awesome to continue. So let's keep it going.
And we know officially that it's all road games from here on out. So again, if you're thinking about making the trip, Allie should be your first call.
Absolutely. Let's do it. All right. With that being said, guys, this is a no-brainer. We've just kept this going the last several weeks for those that tune into this show every week. And
for good reason. It's not like we're just doing this for superstition.
I agree. And but this meme is absolutely fantastic. So
funny every time. Maybe I'm just really immature. I love it.
No, it is absolutely hilarious every time. This does not get old. So congrats, Aiden Bauman. Again, yet another legacy game. We've mentioned him multiple times in this show, but crossing the 9,000 yard mark, number one in Yotes history and all that stuff. But this game specifically, 13 of 18, 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, 72% completion rate. He is just on another level right now.
I will say this too. I need to go back and actually count them. But I know for a fact there were 2 drops. So, you put that 15 of 18 then because 2 hit hands of receivers that didn't make it through. I'm curious how many of those were throwaways afterwards.
Yes, I agree with you, Jake, and Kate's right here. It is partly superstitious. That's the same reason I haven't taken the shirt off.
Like, even when the camera stops rolling, he's wearing it to bed. Showers in it even.
Let's go. We got a new commenter in here at CFB_smoke. What a hell of a season. Complete Shoxy and Mercer destroyed. Yeah, we were too. I mean, if you look at what we predicted, we didn't expect it to be that ugly.
I will say I saw the CFP Smoke comments on our previous video. He had some good comments, and he actually came back when USC was blowing Mercer out. So I saw him. I appreciate you stopping by. But yeah, it was a shock in a sense. I think we all pretty much, I guess everybody that follows along, obviously we're diehards and lean into the Coyotes pretty hard, but we all expected a win. We were all still shocked that it was that way. But yes, here's the true players of the game.
Yes. Yeah, guys, I think we've used this once or twice during this season, and I thought this was the perfect time to bring this back. But the entire staff, all the players, everybody who's a part of this team, down to the trainers, the equipment staff, and everybody, it gets the players of the game because this was the most complete game that this team has played. to this point, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time being in the playoffs, and we are officially red hot.
Absolutely. Yep. And my favorite player right there in the middle, Matt found him, number C.
Did we ever figure out who that was, by the way?
No, I still haven't figured that out. So,
we Coyote Nation, we did some homework here. We need to figure out who number C is in the middle.
it's a good question.
Hey, really quick too, since we're talking about players of the game, I did have a note that I meant to write this down because my wife told me about this during the game. But the ESPN announcers, according to her, were going crazy for Tennell Bryant and his blocking. They kept talking about the little guy who was blocking his tail off all game. So special shout out, because those wide receivers, that's where they can really earn their keep, right? Is blocking on the outside. That's what makes things happen. So I wanted to hit on that. And then of course we have to talk about the punt by Aiden as well, down to the 1 yard line. Ebel, watch out. Guys, after your spot, be careful.
If this team's going to score like this every game, Ebel's not going to see the field much. So yeah, I think Aiden's got him beat.
I'll say this too, with it, Aiden threw 2 touchdowns over 60 yards, and he was more wild on the sideline after his punt than he was on any of his touchdowns, any of his other passes. So
Facts.
I think we all know where his heart's at.
Hey, it led to a safety.
I said the very next play, guys, safety. So, oh man. All right. I think we're approaching the hour mark, guys. Anything else to add for the fine folks before we bounce out of here?
I do want to add one other. Grant got the Tennell comment, so I have one other one because it reminded me. I want to give an absolute huge shout out to Lincoln Adams. Good one. Was the driving force for the Coyotes maintaining the shutout. That kid was everywhere, and it was fun rewatching the broadcast version of it because the announcer was just like, and there's Lincoln Adams with the tackle, and Lincoln Adams, and he forced them to continue to bring him up time and time again, and he almost had probably, I would have called it the pick of the season even.
Yes.
But you know what? The shutout happens because of him. And then, shout out to all the other 2 and 3 third strings out there to maintain it. They went out there with fire. They knew what the mission was, and they succeeded on it. Held them to a 4th down that they couldn't convert on. So.
Absolutely. I'm going to hit this comment on the way out the door. The @CFB_smoke says, rank your remaining teams. Guys, I think that's a perfect one to do on Thursday as we gear up for the Montana Grizzlies. We can throw that in there and take a look at the bracket one final time before that big game.
Absolutely. I love that idea.
All right. That's all I have.
Perfect. Hey, some days it's always great being a Coyote, but some days are better than others. So go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.